What's going on, you guys? What is going on? What is going on, you guys? This be your boy Scotty by Nature TV, and we're here for a brand new episode. Brand new review of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, season 13, episode 28. What is going on, you guys? I hope you guys are having a wonderful, wonderful Tuesday. And I intend on doing the exact same thing, you guys. What's going on, y'all? What's the tea? What's the business, y'all? I feel like I'm a little bit well rested. I had like a 4 to 5 hour nap today, honey. Like I am. Then I'm gonna be off tomorrow, baby. So I think I am pretty much well rested at this particular point because that Mississippi trip took a whole lot of wind out of me, honey. It really did. But today I got me some extra rest, and I can't wait till later so I can get me some more rest. Okay, but we're here for Love and Hip Hop. And we found out at the end of the episode that next week is the finale. I'm very, very like kind of sad that we're pretty much at the end of the road right now because I have been watching the second half of season 13, and I was like, okay, so when is the finale? I know the finale is probably coming sometime. And now it's almost here. So I'm getting myself prepared to say goodbye to Love and Hip Hop. I know they got like this little special coming out where they're going to pretty much put something on there or whatever. But I'm just willing to see because this has been a good season. And it's kind of hard when I see people in the comments and they talking about the show and how, oh my God, I'm so glad that it's over, or oh my God, it ain't been good in quite some time now, whatever. And it's actually been good. These last, like, I know that it went through like this little rough patch during the pandemic. It went through this little rough patch, but then when they moved it over to MTV, that's when it started getting back good again. Now it's not the good old ratchet television that it used to be when we first started reviewing this shit, but it was really good. I can honestly say that Love and Hip Hop Atlanta really got good again once they moved it to MTV. And I think by the time they moved it to MTV, I just kind of think that everybody was pretty much over Love and Hip Hop by then. But I stayed till the wheels fell off. The same way I stayed with Basketball Wives till the wheels fell off. I gotta stay with Love and Hip Hop till the wheels fall off, honey. Okay. I gotta do that. But you know, it's been a pretty decent season. I really enjoyed it, and the Yandy and Mendeecees of it all. This is the realest they've ever been. And baby, I'm here for the realness, honey. I am definitely here for the realness. I'm here for them finally keeping it a book about, what they got going on, Chad. You feel what I'm saying? So it is what it is. So I'm here for it. I'm definitely here for it, and I'm loving it. Trust me. Right now, we're going into the 4-minute mark. Let me see what moderators I got up in here. I see I have Norris in here, and I see I got the Jail Slayer in here. So y'all already know that we get this thing started at the 5-minute mark. So right now, since we're at the 4-minute mark, there's 28 people in the building, which means that we need 28 people engaging. And we also need for you guys to light this chat up with nothing but the flames as we get into the 5-minute mark. So go ahead and light this chat up, child. Go ahead and get yourself prepared because we're going to have a pretty decent show because I got me some notes. I got a couple of notes on here. I definitely do. I got a couple of notes to bring to the people. Okay. Let me go ahead and share this to Twitter, because I hadn't done so yet. All right. Now let me see where we at. Okay, we got 10 more seconds. We got 10 more seconds, y'all. All right, so there we go. We're at the 5-minute mark. It's 30 of you guys up in here. So let's go ahead and get this thing popping. Okay. So let's go ahead and get it popping. These are my notes right here. So let's get started, y'all. So we're gonna start it off with Judy. Okay. So Judy pretty much brought, Yandy and Mendeecees in a little thing, and she pretty much asked Mendeecees about moving out. He said that he felt like that it was the best move for him personally to move out the house because it's really not a good look for him and Yandy to be arguing in front of the kids all the time like they've been doing. So him moving out was probably the better option for him. To be honest, I do agree with him. What is the point of him staying in that house? What is the point of them arguing back and forth in front of them kids all day, every day? Like I've never been a big fan of the adults arguing in front of the children. That kind of, creates a bit of trauma for the kids and stuff like that. So I've never been the type of person to sit there and listen, be there and be like, because I used to tell my mama that all the time. Like when she used to argue with my stepdad, I'd be like, girl, why y'all arguing in front of us? Like, stop arguing in front of my brother. You feel what I'm saying? Like I used to get so mad at them for doing that, because that does kind of create some shit. You feel what I'm saying? So that's it. That's all with that. Yandy says that, to be honest, if I were in DC, I never would have left. I never asked him to leave. I never would have left and went anywhere. My thing with Yandy is, you're saying that you never would have left, but it's pretty clear that you ain't happy with Mendeecees. You are here carrying on with an emotional affair. You don't feel like you're being represented in a way, or you don't really feel like Mendeecees really been having your back the way that you feel that he should, which I think a lot of us have felt that way about him, not necessarily having your back, or not necessarily keeping up or being down with you the way that you've been down with him, because you have shown this level of loyalty to him, and it always have come across like at the end of it all, you have pretty much put Mendeecees on the pedestal that he really didn't deserve. And not only have you put him on the pedestal that he really didn't deserve, but you have also made it clear that when it all boils down, you're going to always defend him and have his back. Although he has constantly shown you that he's not going to have your back the same way that you have his. And not to mention, he has also stated many times that if you went to jail, he don't know if he would have been able to hold you down the same way you've held him down, which is kind of crazy to me, and which I never understand, but it is what it is. But I just felt like with that should have told you something then when he said that, because I think y'all was on couples therapy, and he sat there out of his mouth and said, I don't think I could have been able to hold her down while she was in jail. She was a good one, because I don't think I could have done it. That was pretty much a good punch, in my opinion, to be honest. And Yandy was a damn fool for even constantly holding on to that after he let you know that he not gonna hold you down the same way that you hold him down. But that's a lot of women that be doing that. They be so loyal to these men and trying to hold them down and be there and be their safe space all the time, but they're always the one that's not getting what they need out of the situation. And I find it to be very much so ridiculous. But a lot of times women have, they be trying to do it what's best for their relationship, or trying to, because they love their man so much. And that ain't just women. Men do it too. I've done it too. It's ridiculous to do. But if you know that it ain't working out, and you know that this ain't love and shit like that, because sometimes we really don't know if it's love or not. We just do shit just to be doing it, and then we don't realize that we're doing ourselves a disservice. And Yandy has literally done herself a disservice for the majority of this relationship, and everybody has been looking at her like she's the crazy one, because you held him down. You was fighting with with both of his baby mamas. It was just a whole lot of stuff that went down, and you was placed in a lot of positions where your integrity was always questioned. So at the end of the day, it's kind of like, yeah, girl, I don't know what's going on, but we need to figure it out. What's going on? So Mendeecees says that they stopped respecting each other a long time ago. Like, things have transpired where they're not respecting each other. They aren't, necessarily, in each other's good sides at this particular point. It's kind of like they are going through a whirlwind of emotion right now, and they've been going through that for quite some time. And I understand, but people have been in relationships and in marriages for a long period of time, and at some point it all stops at the end of the day, especially when you've been with somebody for a long period of time. Where we at? So then Yandy pretty much said, well, I would like to apologize and own up to how I may have hurt you dealing with somebody else or doing something with another person. I would like to apologize for hurting you or making you feel some type of way. And the thing about it is, Mendeecees says in his confessional that well, I'm very much so glad that that Yandy finally took accountability for messing around or being involved with somebody else, because she hasn't taken any accountability for that. And I'm like, but you ain't taking no accountability for the stuff that you've been doing either. You haven't. Because while it was in the blogs about Yandy, it's been in the streets about you and the things that you've been doing. And Yandy ain't did nothing but protect you most of this time. But you ain't trying. See, here's the thing. Even when you were doing your bullshit, Yandy was protecting you. And while Yandy doing her shit, you ain't protecting her. You ain't trying to keep nothing under wraps. You're not protecting her. You wanted to all hang out, but when it was you, she didn't let that hang out. It's one of those things, once again, where she's holding you down, but you're not holding her down. She's defending you, but you're not defending her at all. You keep on allowing certain narratives to be spun about this woman when she has been the main one locked down, holding you down for all these years. You feel what I'm saying? It goes right back to doing all of that. You feel what I'm saying? So then he turns around and he says that he was disappointed about her not defending him to Bambi. And Yandy was like, yes, I didn't defend you to Bambi because I feel like I'm always the main person defending you all the time. And I don't feel like you have my back the same way I have yours. And if you want me to be real and be honest about the whole thing, I really don't think that Mendeecees really be having Yandy back like that. And I've always said that she's always having his back, but he's never having hers. And when Bambi said what she said to him, he wanted Yandy to do what she normally do and just jump up, take up for him, be his mouthpiece so he can sit the fuck down and not have to say anything. But not once have you ever seen Mendeecees do that for Yandy. And if he's ever done it for Yandy, I'm really going to need for somebody to tell me when did he do it. Because in all my years of watching and recapping Love and Hip Hop, I have never seen him hold Yandy down the way that she holds him down. I have never seen him defend her as much as she defends him. And I have never seen him protect her as much as she be protecting him. So at the end of the day, now that Bambi is coming for your ass, which she shouldn't have. Let's be all the way real, because she had no business saying nothing because it didn't have nothing to do with her. But you want Yandy to speak up for you, and you don't never be speaking up for her? You got to be out of your mind. No. That's just not the way it goes. That's just not the way it goes. You want something that you don't even give to some. You want to receive something that you don't even give out to somebody else. That don't make sense. It just don't. Mendeecees says, I just want you to be happy, Yandy. Like, I don't want to continue to fight with you. I want you to be happy, Mom. Like, I want everybody to be happy. I'm just tired of fighting. Like, it's just too much fighting going on for me. I just want to move forward. It's just too much going on. And I just want to move forward. And they're very confused as to why he's saying the things that he's saying. But you know, he's not really being forthcoming about anything. He's just speaking in codes and not really saying much of shit in this conversation. But that's exactly what he does. But let's move on to the next topic at hand, which is Scrappy and the guys. Now we find out that Brittany left, and we found out that Yandy also left. And Scrappy basically says that Zane says that Scrappy wanted to pull a Jock and bring his family under the same roof. And at the end of the day, it's just not working. And I feel like with Zane, like with Scrappy, I feel like Jock kind of can do that because he has those relationships with his children's mothers, but Scrappy's relationships with his children's mothers are not necessarily the best. I feel like when it all boils down to it, they'll never be straight. Those relationships with those kids' moms will never be straight with him, mainly due to the fact that he always wants something for nothing. Like one minute is all about co-parenting and co-mingling, but then the very next minute it'd be like hold on. But for the most part, it'd be like he want to fuck them or he wants to have them back in a relationship. It's never about let's co-parent or let's be better parents to our kids. It's always something that he wants in return. And it'll never be like Jock, because Scrappy always, like I said, he wants something for nothing all the time. Then Yandy basically was telling Kendra that she really ain't got no time for Zane and Ashley, because she sat back and she watched the show and watched the episode and saw all the stuff that Zane and Ashley was saying about her and Mendeecees in Puerto Rico, and she really ain't got no words for Zane and Ashley, which is why reunions are very important to this show. This is why we're missing reunions, but they really don't matter now because the show is coming to a close by tomorrow. I mean, by next week. So it really don't really, it honestly don't really matter. But at the same point in time, it's kind of like, oh, we need a reunion. But anyway, Ashley says that she doesn't really know why Yandy is upset with her. I don't understand how come you don't know why Yandy is upset with you, Ashley. Like you was sitting up there talking shit about that lady in her marriage while y'all was in Puerto Rico. Like you literally was being messy. You wasn't really defending Yandy. You was being accusatory and you didn't know what the fuck you were talking about. That's what happened. And now you sitting up here wondering and trying to figure out why this woman mad with you. Girl, please. Anyway, moving on. Yandy says that she felt like Ashley was trying to play her in Mendeecees when she was in Puerto Rico. I don't really think that she was trying to play you in Mendeecees at the same time, though, Yandy. Was she being messy? Absolutely. But y'all are on a reality show. During the time that y'all was filming that shit, the shit was going on in the blog. So obviously somebody was going to bring the shit up. So yes, he did. So yes, she did ask questions because they were talking about her relationship. But in the same breath, though, Ashley, you don't want nobody speaking on your relationship. So you shouldn't be too quick to be speaking on somebody else's relationship, to be quite honest. Why do you feel like it's okay for you to be speaking on somebody else's marriage, but then you cry buckets of tears when somebody speaks on yours? Sit the fuck down and mind your own business, because you the main one crying a fistful of tears when somebody speak on you and what you got going on, but you the first one to speak on somebody else. And I feel like the reason why you felt so comfortable speaking on Yandy's situation is because now you're not in the hot seat. Now you and your man is not being talked about. So now you're happy that somebody else is being talked about. So then Ashley thinks that Yandy is deflecting. I do think that Yandy is deflecting. You see how I feel both ways about these situations. I can see from both ends. Like Yandy got a right to be annoyed, but Ashley is right when she says that what's her name? That Yandy is deflecting, because Yandy always deflects. She always deflects literally all the time. Like she she does deflect, and it's kind of fucked up that she do, but she deflects all the time. It's just like she don't necessarily ever want to take accountability for nothing, or she don't never really want to say nothing about nothing, but she do be deflecting, and right now she is deflecting. But in the same breath, she got every right to feel however she feels about Ashley still. Kendra says that, well, we're all married people, and Yandy ain't married, but we're all married people, and as married people, we should know not to speak on other married people's relationship. And to be honest, I agree with Kendra. As married people, we shouldn't even be talking about other folks' marriages, because we don't want nobody talking about our marriages. So why are you speaking on her marriage? Why are you doing this with her marriage? Why are you doing this with her marriage? Like, I don't get it. I don't understand why you feel the need to be speaking on what's going on with her, because you don't want nobody speaking on yours. So why you feel the need to speak on somebody else's? So then Yandy says, don't bring my name up. And Ashley says, I don't mean it as malicious. And then Yandy said, you did mean it as malicious, because the way you brought it up was in a malicious way. So then Kendra says, it's obvious that Ashley was being shady. And I agree with Kendra once again. Ashley definitely was being shady when she was speaking on that lady marriage. And then that's when Ashley apologizes, but it's a backhanded apology. And that's when Yandy calls Ashley dumb. And once Yandy called Ashley dumb, that's when Ashley decided to storm off, because she feels like she's being disrespected. Now, Yandy was disrespecting you when she called you dumb, but you was giving a dumb tea at that point, because, girl, you acting like you don't understand why this woman feels some type of way about you. However, let's get into Mama D. So Mama D and Lynette, they're having like this mother-to-mother conversation. And Mama D says that, Lynette says, well, I remember us having a conversation. And I remember you telling me that you don't really want Scrappy and Bambi to be back together. And Mama D says that, no, I don't want them back together, because I feel like Scrappy isn't changing. And he goes from this bed to the next bed and this bed to the next bed. And he's creating broken homes and he doesn't realize it. I don't know how y'all gonna feel about me saying this, but I'm finna say it, because I was hella thrown off when I heard Mama D say that. I don't know if Mama D is just maturing, although she should have matured a long damn time ago, but I don't know if she's just maturing or not. But Mama D, this is the stage that you set for him to be. Wasn't you talking about play as pimp all day, every day, and all this other shit? Or don't put all of your eggs in one basket and all this other shit? Like, wasn't you putting this pimp ass mentality on your son? Because at the end of the day, that's what he grew up around, because you was a damn pimp. And now you're seeing that he's taking on the roles that you placed upon him as a damn kid, because that's how you raised him. You raised him to be exactly like you. Be a pimp, have a whole bunch of women around. He didn't have a stable environment, and that's the stage that you set for him to have, and that's the motherfucking truth. And you can sit up here and act like you don't see it or you don't receive it or not, but that is the truth. That is the truth. At the end of the day, that is the truth, and you ain't got to see it, nor do you have to understand it, but that's definitely the goddamn truth. It's the truth. And I know some of y'all might not agree with me, because it's going to seem like I'm blaming Mama D, which you could say that. But I just feel like she don't see the error of her own damn ways. Like, she don't understand that this is the round you cry. This is exactly what you put. This is exactly what you've done. Like, you've put that there. Like, you put that pimp mentality there. You sat there and you allowed him to be that way. You did that. So at the end of it all, he ain't never changed, because you was always encouraging the shit. And now you're saying that you're against it when you've been for it for all these years. He never had nobody to check him or put him in his place and tell him that you're treating women a certain way, because you treated women a certain way as his mama. But I could be overlooking, or I could be making a mountain out of a molehill. I could be doing it, but I'm just telling y'all what I see. I just felt like that was hypocritical. She says that she wants her kids and her grandkids together. And then she's saying that I know that you love your son, and I know that you probably do care about Ashley, and you don't want Zane to be placed in a predicament where he has to choose. And Lynette says, I don't want him to choose, but I feel like this Ashley and Zane thing is the least of my worries. I got other things to worry about. My other son, he got a kidney transplant years ago, and that kidney is gone. And Zane has not even gone to go get tested. He's talking about he's scared, and he ain't even went to got tested yet. And I'm very upset about that. And so I said, at this moment, I want to do a fundraiser where we, donate, get some people to donate money, do this fundraiser for this kidney. And, Mama D said, well, would you want Ashley to be involved in this? And that is when Lynette said, I don't really want her to be involved, because I don't want to deal with her shit. And to be quite honest, I'm not really mad at Lynette for feeling that way. They got way too many issues, so why would she be involved? So then Yandy tells Ashley that, Zane tells Ashley that Yandy is treating him a certain way. And that's when Ashley was like, oh my God, yeah, I know exactly why she's treating you some type of way. So then she starts telling him about her conversation with Yandy and how she's pretty much pissed off at them for speaking on her marriage while they was in, Puerto Rico, because she saw her on the episode. And she been mad with them ever since. And so right now she said, Yandy called me dumb and all of this other stuff. But I really don't think that it has anything to do with me, because Yandy is my girl. But I feel like she's deflecting and projecting and taking out her issues with Mendeecees out on me. I do think that's part of the problem. I do think that Yandy isn't necessarily mad. I do think that Yandy isn't necessarily mad at Ashley. Like, she has a right to be annoyed with Ashley, to be honest. Like, she has a right to be annoyed with Ashley at this particular moment and things like that. But at the same point in time, I do feel as though when it all boils down to it, she is kind of taking it where, she is taking it to where, it is what it is. Like, yeah, I'm mad with Mendeecees, so I'm gonna take it out on everybody else. So then that's when Zane asked Ashley to bury the hatchet with Lynette. And Ashley was like, I really don't want to deal with this, but I'm willing to do it for you. I'm willing to do it for you, but that's the only reason why I'm even entertaining this conversation or this thought to even bear the hatchet with your mom. Because she don't like me. It's been a whole lot of stuff going on with that situation. So I do feel as though I do it for you, but that's it. So then that's when Yandy tells Mendeecees about her confrontation with Ashley and how she was irritated by the things that was being said while they were all up in, Puerto Rico. And then, that is when Mendeecees said, well, they kept on bringing up the fact that you held me down. And then that is when Yandy said, and I did I not? And so he was like, well, all I did was tell them that they don't know my life because they don't know my life for them to be saying, well, Yandy held you down and Yandy did this and Yandy did that. But did she not? I'm just trying to understand where was they lying at, because did she not hold you down? Like, did she not? I mean, I'm just trying to put the pieces together and try to figure that part out, because did she not hold you down? Everybody knows that she did. So I'm just trying to figure out what's going on here. And then Yandy was like, so how would you feel if I said the same thing? Oh, y'all don't know my life when you have done this and you have done that. How would you feel if I said the same thing? He don't give a fuck. That's the thing. Like, he don't care about how you feel about nothing. He keep on running away from conversations because he keep on saying that he don't want to fight with Yandy. But clearly to me, Yandy is very much frustrated because she feels like Mendeecees brings a certain energy outside the camera, but then he brings something else to the camera, and she's very confused. And if you want me to be honest, I feel like she got every right to be confused, because at the end of the day, you giving mixed signals. One minute you say you want my friend, I want my friend back, I want this, I want that, and things like that. But it's kind of like, yeah, I don't know. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. So that's my thought on that. Yandy and Mendeecees ain't finna get on my damn nerves, okay? They just not. But where we at? So we get to Scrappy. Now, Scrappy says that now that him and Brittany are done, he's ready to play. But Scrappy, you've been ready to play before Brittany decided to break it off with your ass. You've been ready to play. You've been playing since you've been with her. Like, you always play in every situation. Then he starts saying that his relationships are usually long term. They are long term on your terms, because you want it to be long term while you out here wilding, doing what the fuck you want to do, and let somebody else do the same thing you doing, and we won't hear the end of it. That's exactly what this is to me. Like, you want to have the free range to do whatever you want to do because you feel like you can. And I feel like for all these years, everybody from Erica to Bambi, everybody has allowed you to feel like you can do whatever you want to do. And that's just not the way the world turns, baby boy. It's not. You can't go out here and do what you want to do and think ain't nobody gonna do them. Like, get the fuck out of here. Zane asked Mendeecees, what are we gonna do with our wives? Because me and you have a pretty good relationship, but they are at each other's throats, and I don't know what to do about that. And so Mendeecees was like, it was the same thing with Kirk and Rashida. It was like, Yandy and Rashida had this beef back and forth, but me and Mendeecees were good. Me and Kirk were good. So I don't know what we can do about that, but we do need for them to get on a better page. And so Zane was like, everybody was talking about how Yandy held you down and stuff like that. And everybody was saying that, when a woman holds you down, people feel a way when things don't work out. And Mendeecees says that Yandy did hold me down, but at the same time, people feel as though I owe Yandy my whole life because she held me down. Now, I don't think that you owe her your whole life just because she held you down, because that was a choice that she made. So I'm not saying that I think that you owe her your whole life, but I think that you owe her more respect than what you give, because she did hold you down. She sat there for 45 years holding you down, dealing with your shit, dealing with your baby mamas, dealing with all of that different stuff. And she was the one who was made to look like a damn fool, a whole liar, and things like that throughout these whole little situations that you had going on. So, of course, everybody's going to bring up the fact that, she held you down, because it's not a lie. She absolutely did hold you down throughout your situation and your stint in prison. Like, that's exactly what happened. That's what she did. So why are we acting like she did not do that? You feel what I'm saying? So then I think all the men kind of agreed with Mendeecees when he said that people feel as though his life is owed to Yandy. He says, I don't feel like I owe her my whole life. Like, because she held me down, does that mean that I'm supposed to continue to take the abuse that I'm receiving? Does that mean that I'm supposed to do this or I'm supposed to do that? And we don't really know what abuse you're receiving right now. All we know is that this was a woman that held you down against everybody. Like, she was holding you down, Mendeecees. Like, she didn't care what nobody had to say about you. Everybody was talking all that crap about y'all's relationship. It was so many questions surrounding that situation, and everybody, was pretty much like defending her, because it did come across to all of us who watched the show that you really didn't hold her down the way that she was holding you down. And it's not a lie. You really didn't hold her down the way that she was holding you down. It wasn't a fair situation. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it really was. So that's just that. So Scrappy asked Yandy, was she getting plucked while he was in prison? And Mendeecees says, well, I don't know how I'm not necessarily sure how what she did when I was gone, but I did give her the liberty to actually to do her while I was gone, but she didn't want to do that. So that's what Mendeecees said. He gave her the free range to go out and do what she wanted to do, but she didn't. Kendra says that Yandy should hear Ashley out. Yandy's very reluctant, but she's going to do it. Kendra then says that everybody needs to take accountability for what they've done and how they've hurt the other person. So then Ashley admits that she was being defensive in her conversation with Yandy earlier, but she apologizes for approaching Mendeecees wrong. She does acknowledge the fact that she approached him in the wrong manner. Ashley says that she had a certain look of Yandy before she met her. Like, she held this man down. She was down for him. She did all the things that women are doing and things like that. But she just felt like Mendeecees don't have her back the way that she has had his. Although Ashley was being messy, she didn't lie. He didn't have her back the way that she had his at all. So Yandy and Ashley winds up making up, right? So then Mendeecees asked Yandy, are they good? She said that they're fine or whatever. And then Mama D pulls Ashley to the side. She tells her about the conversation that she had with Lynette and about how Lynette wants a fundraiser and Lynette doesn't want her to be involved. And Ashley says that I would love to be involved, but I need to have this conversation with Lynette because I don't think that I should be having this conversation with Mama D. You should be. So she pulls Lynette to the side. They talk. They pretty much hash things out. Lynette breaks down because she says her mother is gone. She's the only one that's trying to keep the family together. And then Zane starts breaking down to Scrap because he feels like he's a coward because he didn't go and see about his brother. So then Mendeecees says that he doesn't want to keep fighting with Yandy. And Yandy is not sure what Mendeecees want from her. So he asked her, so are you done with what's going on in New York? And then Yandy said, I already handle my business in New York. Why do you keep asking me that? So apparently New York is where her nigga is at, pretty much. That's where he's at. Her nigga is in New York, and he used that New York thing as a jab against Yandy, and that's why she took off. And so Mendeecees says that she been single throughout the whole marriage. She ain't never been happily married. She always been doing her the whole marriage. And he said, do you want me to air it out? Because I air it out on TV. Go ahead and air it out, Mendeecees. You've been threatening her for way too long. Go on and say what you got to say then. Go on and say what you got to say. Because I feel like you've been itching to expose Yandy because you feel like she's the doting wife that was betrayed or did wrong or whatever, and you feel like you want to do all that. So, girl, go ahead and do what you're going to do, Mendeecees. If you're going to expose Yandy, go ahead and expose her. I'm about tired of the empty threats. Go on and do what you do. Real girls do real things. If you're going to expose her, then you might as well just go on and do it. Because I want to know what the fuck Yandy has done. Because you're trying to make it seem like Yandy has done a whole lot of shit. And I need to know. And you need to put it out there because these empty threats ain't gonna cut it for me. But that's pretty much the gist of that. That's it. That's all. Before we get up out of here, y'all know I gotta do my promotions. So be sure to pick up a t-shirt from my best friend. He has a t-shirt line on Etsy that is called Shifted. Make sure you guys go and pick it up, okay? Make sure you guys go and pick up my book. It is available on Amazon and Kindle Books. Make sure you guys go and pick that up. With that being said, you guys, this be your boy Scotty by Nature TV. Be sure to like, rate, comment, subscribe, share this video, but also click on the notification bell so you can be notified whenever a video drops. And if you want to follow me on any form of social media, my Twitter, my Instagram, and my TikTok will be down below. With that being said, you guys, your boys up out here, and I will see you guys on the next one.
Get that 20, yeah, you always been a sneaky bitch, hating from the sidelines, trying to get picked, yeah. You don't found one, yeah, you don't found one. You don't found one, found you a real one. On my assets lately, you catch a face, shots fired, catching babies. Heavy on the highs, better get you some gravy. Cut that lady check, why you out here being lazy? I got bored with that season, I'm talking shit when I'm spitting. Fact a bitch, I'm the reason, when it got you hoes heated. Snow got them hoes sneezing, got the meals you not eating. Where had them hoes leaking, God trust when I'm speaking. It's giving.
These bands gon' make it hot. Real niggas gonna come up, don't let the game gon' change us. Real niggas in my circle, ho, don't ever play us. This the real hustle, we make the money, don't make it make us. They ain't bout shit, talking out they neck. Bitch, we bring the heat every time we step. You fucking with a beast, fucking with the best. Get money on the east, plug on the west. Bitch, I'm from the north, but we run it south. Bitch, we outside, what you talking about? Who the fuck is me? No, who the fuck is you?